everybody! Hi, Tuxedoji. Hi, Nico. Hi, Corrigan. Welcome! Is this your first stream here? I don't recognize you. uh, welcome. Welcome very much. Is that something that people say? I'm playing Taisho Alice. I was also informed just a bit before stream began that today is International Boyfriend Day. Could you imagine? Well, here we go. Let's have fun today. So, continuing to where we left off, we're about to read Cinderella's story. Right off the bat, we're confronted with a swear word. Let's see, how do I do Cinderella's voice? I was so gosh darn annoyed. Why, you ask? That's me. Thanks for waiting. Wow, there's so many customers. So many invisible customers. And they don't have their own sprites, not even silhouettes. Oh, big mood, Tuxedoji.
待ってたよ、アリスちゃん。アリスちゃんがいないと困るよ。ちっとも注文取りに来ないしさ。
Aw, Cinderella jealous? Sorry about that.
二人してどこに行ってたんですか。早く手伝ってください。僕たち二人だけじゃこの人数さばききれま。
Sorry, be there in a jiffy. Because I was being played by a wily fox who liked to pretend she was a ditz. Now, Cinderella, I'm afraid we really are this stupid. Yeah, it was lots of fun, Nico. Please buy Volume 2 of the manga. Volume 2 of Boys Run the Riot. Volume 3 is coming out soon, I think. It should be shipping in, I think this week or next week, sometime in October. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to it. Let's get out there and do our bets, Cinderella.
No.
He has no energy. I was never planning to tail her. I didn't care who she was or why she was here. It was all just a game that wasn't meant to last. She could disappear at any given time and I wouldn't care in the slightest. At least, I thought I wouldn't care. So why is it that I went looking for her once I noticed she was gone? Surely even she knew that this magic spell would someday be broken. Oh, Cinderella. Glad your migraine's gotten better, Nico. It's pretty late for you, right? Remember not to stay up too late. You're still a growing young man. Once upon a time. Oh. I remember we lived in a big fancy mansion with fancy furniture and fancy parties every night. I lived a classy life with my classy parents. They bought me everything I wanted and let me do whatever I liked. Well, yeah, he was supposed to be always rich, right? Oh, it's not better. I just happened to still be awake when the notification appeared. Good night, Nico. Good night, Nico. Good night, Nico. For as long as I can remember, I'd always thought of myself as special. My family was rich. I had better than average looks. And as the firstborn, I was expected to inherit the family business. I was playing life on easy mode, and a bright, shining future was waiting for me. Or so I thought. My world sparkled like glass, but still so fragile, wasn't it? But one day I learned that glass was fragile. One wrong move, and it would shatter into 1,000 pieces. My father was an influential man. Everywhere he went, people flocked to his side. But once his back was turned, those same people would curse his name. Oh, new rich. His father was an influencer. They didn't like my father for who he was as a person. They only liked the idea of him, in other words, his wealth. Our lives were so decadent and happy. Fancy clothes, pretty jewelry, extravagant banquets, all made possible with the power of money. No brains, no talent, no problem, as long as you had the cash. Money was magic. Wow, the fairy godmother was cold hard cash all along. Hmm.
こんな夜更けに何をしてるの？
別に何も。
別に何も。
ほら、俺が入れた紅茶だ。飲めよ。どうせ喉が渇いて水でも飲みに来たんだろ。
Oh, Cinderella, you really did change. Oh. Cinderella, you forgot that Snow White doesn't drink what other people make, though. Oh, but you're still such a good big brother now.
別に毒なんか入っちゃいねえよ。
Oh.
知ってる。
あいつ、毎日お前の分の飯までちゃんと用意してるぞ。
それも知ってる。けど、だからといってどうすることもできない。
ま、お前の好きにすればいいさ。別に無理をする必要なんざねえんだからな。
Oh, and he looks so kind.
二人してお茶会ですか？僕を誘わないだなんて兄弟なのに水臭いじゃありませんか。
Oh, is Gretel the youngest?
めんどくさいのが起きてきやがった。
失礼ですね。僕にも兄さんの入れたクソまずい紅茶をください。
お前は一言も二言も多いんだよ。ほらよ。
どうも。久しぶりですね。こうして3人集まってお茶を飲むだなんて。
They love each other.
まあな、今はあいつがいるからな。
彼女が来て2週間。短いようだけど、長い間一緒にいるみたいに馴染んでる。確かに、彼女の存在は大きいです。炊事に洗濯、店だって彼女が主導で動いてますから。
It's been 2 weeks? What? I thought it's been months? Wait, how much has happened? We decided to revamp the cafe, and then the cafe became wildly successful. We've had days of very busy schedules. We've fallen in love. We got Cinderella to confront his not exactly ex. What? We turned the cafe from a ghost town into a must-see in less than 2 weeks? Move the heck over, Gordon Ramsay. You've been overworked and that's why it feels like months. That's a good point, Sig. Alright, I'm gonna take a sip. What's even an international boyfriend?
彼女はよく働いてる。
面倒なので率直に言いますが、彼女どう思います？
Oh, a late night interrogation?
変わっているね。
俺もほぼ同意見だ。それ
じゃあ僕は口達者で生意気も追加で。
これじゃまるでいいとこなしだな。
でも、言い方を変えれば、ミステリアスで頭がいいになる。
Aww.
おお、一気にいい女っぽくなったな。
兄さん、いつまでこんな茶番を続ける気？
Oh, Cinderella, look, your little brothers are worried about you. Hi, Faye. Yeah, the art is so pretty.
茶番？
この2週間のことですよ。具体的には彼女をここに置いてやる気もなかった喫茶店をやり始めたり。
そんなの飽きるまでだよ。
だったら彼女が自分の正体を明かした時が終わりというわけだ。
Oh, that's right. The Snow White and Gretel at least know that we're not who we say we are. Did Cinderella already figure it out? They know? Yeah, since, like, Snow White and Gretel at least have some good heads on their shoulders. They actually pay attention to what your clothes look like.
シンデレラ兄さんが彼女のことを気に入っているのは彼女が謎めいているからじゃないんですか？
Oh,
彼女がミステリアスでバカじゃないから兄さんは彼女に惹かれる。
はあ？惹かれてねえよ。
ならなぜ彼女を連れ戻しに行ったんですか？あのチャラそうな関西弁と親しげな様子でした。
limey.
教育的指導だ。経営者としては当然だろう。
その割にはイライラしてたね。
No White said a cuss.
煩わしいのが嫌いだからな。
まあ、そういうことにしておいてあげますけど、彼女の化けの皮が剥がれた瞬間、あなたは勝手に幻滅するんでしょうね。
The little brothers are as worried about me as they are about their big brother.
そうかもしれねえな。そりゃ、俺は楽しいことが好きだからな。バカか利口かと聞かれたら、あいつは利口な方だ。だからこそ、言わない。喋らない。だから、そんなことは永遠には続かない。永遠なんて、存在しないんだからな。
He's in denial.
あいつにほだされてるのは俺じゃなくて。じゃあな、あんまり夜更かしすんなよ。明日もしっかりと働いてもらうからな。
Cinderella, your family is worried.
だって見透かされてるよ、グレーテル。
やっぱりこの紅茶まずいな。
Aw, but you're still drinking it.
一度本物を知ってしまえば偽物が口にできなくなるさ。
It's a metaphor. Ooh. Today I felt like a hunter waiting to ensnare my prey. Look, it's Katakata Alice. Here he comes.
またサンドイッチか。相変わらず使えんやつだ。
Is he just sitting there and eating right at the doorway? The door opened and my target took the bait. Gotcha! Now then, Alice. Today's the day you're going to let me clean your room. I cackled evilly, my grasp firmly secured on his arm. No sudden movements. Still gonna eat.
お断りだ。くそ、トラップを仕掛けるとはな。
Hey! He flung me off, dashed into his room, and was about to shut the door. I don't think so. What? I slid my right arm and foot between the gap, preventing the door's closure. That's dangerous. Meanwhile, Alice probably felt like he was in some sort of horror movie. But to me, this was a war between two ideologically opposed forces. Oh, it wasn't a trap. I just hid around the corner and waited for you to leave your room to collect your food, which I positioned a few inches farther than usual.
それをトラップと言うんだ。最低最悪腹黒しょわるんだ。いいか、僕は君のそういう基本、小賢しくて小ずるくて自分本位なところがとんでもなく嫌みったらしくてたまらなく大嫌い。
There, there. It's okay. Be a good boy. The instant I let go of the door, it slammed shut, and Alice plowed face first into it.
おい、いきなり話すな。おかげで僕の鼻が潰れるところだった。謝罪と賠償を要求するぞ。
Sure enough, the door opened again, and there stood Alice, his hand over his nose. Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Anything broken?
君は相変わらずウルトラ級のバカだな。大丈夫なわけないだろ。 大体な、謝って済むなら警察や司法はいらないんだよ。
Will Alice's father hear of this?
というわけで、賠償はそうだな。とりあえずここにある朝食を置いて、君が僕の前から消え去るだけでいい。
Nope. As he ranted on and on, he snatched his sandwich from the tray on the nearby table.
これで許してやるんだから安いもんだ。まったく、本当に僕は人がいい。あーくそ、鼻が痛い。
Wait. Once again, I stuck my limbs through the door gap to keep it open.
なんぜ、掃除などお断りだ。何度言ったらわかる。
Open up, Alice! Using his free hand, he attempted to pry me off the door. But in terms of raw strength, I had the upper hand. Oh! This is the first time I'm hearing of it, considering you never respond to my notes.
君は本当にバカだな。それが答えだとなぜ気づかない。少しでも気があったらとっくの昔に返事を出しているに決まっているだろう。
It's because I'm a dummy that I won't understand unless you tell me, Alice.
それともあれか、わざと気づいてないふりをして僕に嫌がらせをしているのか。本当に君は心底性格が悪いな。まあ、感心するよ。第一、僕がお部屋に住もうが君には関係ないだろう。分かったらとっとと朝食だけ置いて出ていけ。
Dirty rooms can pose a sanitary hazard to the rest of the building. That puts the burden on the property owner to solve the issue.
なら、僕の部屋がお部屋であるという証拠はあるのか？あるなら提示してみろ。
Can you prove that it's not dirty?
またお得意のへりくつか。君と不毛な議論を交わす気はない。いいか、この部屋の世帯主は僕だ。たとえ大家でも特別な条件下でなければ勝手に部屋に入ってはいけないという決まりがあるんだよ。
Yeah? Show me your tenant's contract. Show me your contract. Well then, I'd like you to make sure it's clean.
嫌だ、以上だ。答えだぞ、さっさと手を離せ。
Look, I see where you're coming from on this, but it's been 2 weeks now since I moved in and you haven't once left your room. One-san is worried.
それが君の本音だろ。
Yep.
認めたな、腹黒。余計なお世話だ。いや、違うな。迷惑なんだよ。あと思い出したが、最近ちょっと朝食に手を抜きすぎじゃないか。朝食が店の余り物だということに僕が気づかないとでも思ったか。
Oh, he does care. When and where do you pee? I think that the tenants' rooms have bathrooms attached. You're that? You're his father figure. Aww. I never give you the same thing twice, though. Plus, you said you're team bread or whatever, so I figured you'd like it.
言い訳ないだろうが、君はバカか。いくら僕がパンを愛するパン党パン派だとしても、こう毎食サンドイッチを出されれば飽きるに決まっている。料理の手抜きは万死に値する。
In that case, would you like to come downstairs and eat with the rest of us? We're having sweet and sour chicken with rice.
僕に離党しろというのか、ここに来てくら替えしろというのか。
But rice is so good, you'll never get sick of it. Go on, betray the Pan clan. Is he a neckbeard? No, I think he's just 12.
誘惑するな。僕は温かい団らんとか共同作業とかそういうものが大嫌いなんだ。みんなで仲良くいただきますとか言いたくないから、あえてのぼっち飯を選択しているんだ。
Well, at least you're eating, I guess. Good for you. That's a good boy. Come on, let me pat your head.
死ぬからな。
It's not healthy to stay cooped up in your room, though. You need to exercise.
僕をその辺にいる BMI 指数20以上のデブどもと一緒にしないでくれ。
Care to say that again, punk?
僕は全国の乙女が聞いたら発狂するくらいのどれだけ食べても運動しなくても太らないスマート体型だぞ。
I see. So we're gonna have to suplex him. What are you talking about? 20 to 24 is a healthy BMI.
バカめ。 痩せて見えるモデル体型は18から19が基本なんだよ。それ以下はキモいし、それ以上は僕にとってで。
Exercise isn't just about losing weight. You need to go out in the sun or your body won't absorb enough calcium. Think of your bones.
それはあれか。兄、僕があれだと言いたいのか。そりゃ僕は平均より若干、いやいや、ごくごく微妙に少しだけ足りてないかもしれんが、僕の体は未だ成長過程にある。
Oh, Alice. Alice, Alice, Alice. That's what I said too.
やはり君は僕の敵だ。早く話せ。
I can't, or else you'll slam the door on my fingers. Plus, you might smack your nose again, and your food will end up on the floor. Alice, let's go have a nice talk in your room with the door shut and a few chairs in front of it.
そう言って油断させる気だろう。君の浅はかな策略などお見通しなんだよ。
I swear I'm really not. Okay, on the count of 3, let's both stop pushing. 1, 2, 3. The next instant, the air was filled with the sound of splintering wood.
おーい、朝っぱらから何やってるんだ。あ、
Ah.
Ah.
Ah. Naturally, who should happen across the scene but the worst possible person? That's right. Ah.
なんだ、意外に綺麗じゃねえか。
Oh, good job, Alice. Here, let me pet your head. Cinderella peered into Alice's room, mildly impressed. As for his door, well, we kind of accidentally tore it off its hinges?
意外には余計だ。僕が掃除もできない、片付けもできない、何も捨てられないダメ人間だとでも思ったのか。
Aw. Well, did you? Yes or very yes? Extremely yes.
答えるな。君の考えなどお見通しだ。どうせ、はい、おは、イエスとか肯定しか君の選択肢にはなかったんだよ。まあそうだ。君はそういう嫌味な人間だ。
Oh my god, the options were hi and yes. He pointed his finger in my face. That's not true.
おいおい、後ろにカッコ棒をつけ忘れているぞ。カッコ嘲笑。
I still can't wink.
だいたいこんなことになったのも全部君のせいだ。やっぱりあの時嘘をついていたんだ。何がせーのだ。危うく君に騙されて手を離して鼻ペチャのヘチャムクレにされるところだったぞ。
I wasn't lying. The door just coincidentally happened to fall off its hinges on the count of 3.
じゃあこの件はいわゆる不可抗力というやつか。異論は大いにあるが、まあこの際何でもいい。いいか、二人で口裏を合わすぞ。これはあくまでも不幸な事故だったんだ。あいつにはそれで押し通す。
つーかお前ら、さっきから好き勝手にギャーギャー騒いでいるが、この状況理解してんだろうな。
And so we humbly prostrated ourselves before our mighty landlord.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
とりあえず彼女が嫌がる僕を無理やりどうにかしようと扉をこじ開けたんです。あれは彼女です。
So much for an accident. That's not what we agreed on. I'm sorry. I could argue the point with him all I like, but at the end of the day, it was my fault that the door was damaged. Which meant I needed to pay the price for my crime.
ああ、どうしてくれるんだよこれ。弁償。
I'm really sorry. I'll fix it later, I promise. And if I can't, I'll pay for a new one.
できるのかよ。
Yeah, I'm loaded. I'll work hard to save up the money. I flexed my bicep. Oh, yeah.
それ、元は俺の金だし。巡り巡って俺に帰ってくるわけか。まあいい。とりあえず、体で返すってことだな。
Yep, use me as you like.
誤解が生じる言い方だな。まるで借金の方に売られていく町娘を彷彿とさせるスケベ発言だ。セクハラで訴えられるぞ。
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it.
お前もだよ、アリス。僕がなぜ君に体を売らなければならないんだ。うわ、ドワッときたぞ、ドワッと。
Cinderella smacked him over the head.
労働力で返せってんだよ。もう一度ぶん殴られたいのか。
すみませんでした、シンデレラさん。
たく。
まったく。
なあ、そういえば扉の話だったな。
そういえば、やっぱり君にとって扉のことなどどうでもいい。
This visual novel has really good effects. Cinderella put a hand over Alice's mouth. Evidently, he sensed that the conversation was going nowhere fast. Oh dear, Alice is starting to turn blue. I sure hope he's okay.
まあいい。とりあえずこれは貸しだ。許してやるよ。
You mean it?
まあな、俺って優しいだろ。
You're a saint. Thank you.
だろう。ま、これは貸しだからな。貸しはいつか返すもんだ。いいか、俺が返せって言った時に返せよ。こ
Aww.
れはあんたたちに対する俺の切り札だ。
He seemed rather fixated on the idea of me owing him. Aw. Then I realized I'd already done the same thing to him twice. Once when he saw me naked and once when I shielded him. This is your revenge, isn't it?
まあな。
That's fair. The debt thing must have really bothered him. So, what do we do about the door? I glanced over at where it stood, leaning against the wall.
ああ、とりあえず放っておけばいい。その扉、もともと立て付けが悪かったんだよ。
So it was your fault! What? I was so baffled I could barely speak. What did he just say? It didn't fit on the hinges? Which means?
騙したのか。
Alice's door privileges have been confiscated. Ah, the plight of any teenage boy. Side note, any teenagers in the audience, you do deserve door privileges. Privileges. You do deserve privacy. You do deserve to have a door. That was a joke. So, please advocate for yourself. Please get a door. Finally freed from Cinderella's grasp, Alice's face had flushed beet red from the, lack of oxygen.
騙してはねえよ。ただ、事前に言ってなかっただけだ。
詐欺だ。
Scam artist! The two of us pointed at him with accusatory stares on our faces.
俺の家を壊したことは事実だろうが、あんたらがくだらねえことをやらなけりゃ外れなかったわけだしな。
Oh, America is good. It's just Cinderella here. Well, unfortunately, he had a point.
いいか。これはあくまでも貸しだからな。
You're actually pretty crafty. He smirked at me as I clenched my jaw in defeat.
毎日あんたらと一緒にいれば、こっちもこっちでいろいろと。
まだだ。まだ貸しを作ったわけじゃない。要はこの扉を直せばいいんだろ。
All of a sudden, Alice started barking orders at me. Huh? Okay. I got to my feet, grabbed the door, and together we attempted to fit it back into its frame. This isn't working too well, is it?
引き戸だったら簡単だったのに、引き戸じゃな。やめだやめ。
Out of nowhere, Alice let go completely. Alice, no, Knocked off balance, I started to tip over, but Cinderella caught me in the nick of time. What? Thank you, you're a lifesaver. Ah, you took the door from me and set it back against the wall.
おいアリス
Yes? I raised my hand like I was being called on, because our code name is Alice. Don't let two children fix the door. Hey, I'm not a child. I'm barely legal.
あんたじゃねえよお約束なボケをかますなお前だよお前そこのふんぞり返ってるお前だ
なあもういいよ借りではいはい借りはいつか返すんだろ返す
Alice was sprawled on the hallway floor, lounging as he ate his sandwich. He still didn't finish it. Great, now I'm gonna have to sweep up those crumbs later.
相変わらず腹立つ言い方しかしねえな
君たちの目は節穴か僕に体力仕事など向いているわけないだろ第一僕は朝食もまだ済ませていないんだ
Oh my
腹が減っ
god,
ては戦もできぬということわざもあるだろ
he's sassing the landlord. This does need an anime. Then why didn't you come downstairs and...
嫌だ
Oh. Hmm. In the end, I invited Alice into my room, if only to keep him from making a mess in my freshly cleaned hallway.
ここが君の部屋か
Yep. Is this your first time in a girl's room, Alice? Aw, how cute. He looked around and at the furnishings, then shrugged his shoulders with a sigh.
少女趣味だな
Hey, Cinderella was the one to decorate this, actually.
今はいいかもしれないがこれが20代後半の独身女にでもなってみろ途端に虚しくなるぞ
Hi?
ましてや30オーバーなんぞ話にならんないかにも男にモテない売れ残りの部屋だ
Hi? Keep your misogyny to yourself. Every woman is still a girl at heart. Eureka is a really good protagonist.
ヘドが出るそうやって自分を甘やかすから根気が遅れるんだどんなに容姿が良かろうと悪かろうとババアの少女趣味は痛いちなみにこれに片付けられないがつくと倍率ドンだ
It's okay, Alice. We'll get you into lots of after-school clubs so you don't have to go straight home to Reddit. It was becoming readily apparent why Alice didn't have a girlfriend. It's okay, we'll be your friends. You don't need men going their own way anymore.
俺はなんだ
Oh, that's, Aw, Alice had found the little glass ornament Cinderella had given to me as a gift.
ガラス細工かへったくそだなよほど才能がない手先が不器用な人間が作ったの
Yeah, pat Alice on the head. This child can fit so much misogyny. Ah, let's do our best to raise him right. But it's so cute, just like you.
かわいい俺のどこがかわいいんだ君の目は節穴かそれともあれかいわゆるキモかわいいってやつか大体僕は鳩という生物が嫌いでね平和の象徴だとか言われてるがあんな群れをなして憤慨をまき散らすだけの生物のどこが可愛いの
Oh, but he can tell that it's a bird.
おまけに人に慣れた鳩は遠慮なく人をバカにしてる態度が君を彷彿とさせてなおのこと腹が立つ
So you see it as a dove too. I knew it.
Huh?
I wonder why they chose a dove specifically.
僕が知るか作った本人に聞けばいいだろ
The guy who made it? Just then, it was as if a veil had been lifted. All this time I had assumed it was another trifle Cinderella had purchased, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe he made it himself? Oh, Tuxie, it's okay. You and I are just biased because of Hatoful. Did you make this, Cinderella?
ああそう
Oh,
だ悪かったな下手くそで
cute! So cute! That's too cute!
あれ 僕下手くそって言ったかな。随分と前衛的な作品だとは言った気がするけれど。
It's too late to butter up the landlord.
別に取り繕わなくてもいい。これが人から見ればただのガラクタだってことは俺だって知ってる。
No, I'm biased because I'm British and I spend time with pigeons every day. Taxi Doji, I live in New York City. I too spend time with pigeons every day. Alice is right.
ああ、ほんとど下手くそだな。かろうしてこれがハトだと判別がついたが、基本的に才能がない。ただだだだだだだだだ。おいこら、言ってることとやってることが違うぞ。
Oh, this voice acting is really good. Your flying rat birds are valid. Oh, Fukunaga-san, I think you might need to buy some boxing gloves. You wanna go? Cinderella had put Alice in a sleeper hold partway through his tirade, and now Alice was attempting to tap out.
言い方ってもんがあるんだよ。第一、これはただの趣味だ。趣味に才能はいらねえだろ。
That's right.
趣味に才能があったら実利が取れる。これ以上の幸せはあるまい。
Having escaped from Cinderella's grasp, Alice went right back to being his usual unpleasant self. I had a front row seat to the ultimate jerk-on jerk showdown. Or so I thought.
そうとも限らねえぜ。好きなことをして儲かるかどうかはわからない。そいつの腕次第か職業によるだろう。
Oh, Cinderella, do you have experience with this? Yeah, I don't know if artsy stuff is profitable per se.
だろう。だから俺は絶対に手を出さない。憧れない。
Just a hobby? You sure?
そういうものだ。
で、これはなんでハトなんだ？
造形が簡単だからだろう。
なるほど。いかにも単純、短絡、単細胞な君らしい選択。
Oh, all of this child abuse. What a shame. Alice looked rather less handsome with Cinderella pinching his cheeks. Does this guy ever learn? Bart Homer quit it. Wait, so if you've been doing this for a while, then does that mean there are more of these that I haven't seen? At my question, Cinderella snapped back to reality and Alice just dropped to the floor.
あ？まあ、まあな。
How do you react to the news that there are more figurines? I want to see them. I feel like Cinderella would be immune to our girlish wiles, but smiling wordlessly would be really ominous, and shrugging, I'm not sure what that would accomplish. What would you guys do? Smile sweetly? Okay, when in doubt, pick the middle option. Oh, you meant the first one. Whoops. I smiled at him, hoping the silence would work in my favor as an added source of pressure.
なんだ。見てえのかよ。
Oh, I'm so glad you offered. Will you show me? He karate chopped me on the head. Guess I was getting a little carried away. Aww.
ったくこうなることが分かってたから言わなかったな。
Oh, you're smiling though.
ってこんな時間だ。おい、店の準備をしないと間に合わねえぞ。
Oh. Huh? Oh, we gotta hurry.
行くのか？
Yeah, so, While I'd only broken his door by accident, I couldn't exactly ask him to sit around without any privacy in the meantime. Just as I was wondering what to do with him, he suddenly cut in.
別に君がどこに行こうが何をしようが僕に関係なければどうでもいい。ただ、君が僕の部屋の扉を壊したことは僕にとって大いに迷惑であり、なので、とりあえず僕の部屋の扉が直るまでここにいさせてもらうぞ。
What does he even do in his room?
ああ、ちなみに言っておくが、君と共同生活を送る気はみじんこほどもないのでくれぐれも勘違いしないでくれたまえ。
Get him some bead curtains.
あくまでも僕は一時避難としてこのメルヘン部屋に仮住まいするだけだからな。
And with that, he steered me out of my room. Okay, just don't go messing around with any of my stuff, and don't go looking for anything. If you lay a single hand on my underwear drawer, I will end you. But wait, I have to change clothes in there, don't... But before I could finish, he slammed the door and locked it behind me.
君はバカだな。僕が君の事情など知るわけないだろう。とりあえず鍵を閉めてやったので、入りたければ速やかに早急に素早く修理に取り掛かるようにするんだな。
I can't believe this. Oh, this is the perfect opportunity to share a room with Cinderella.
あまり時間がかかるようなら、君の大事なものを粉々にするお手伝いをしてやる。
I could hear his voice through the door full of contempt, and somehow I could picture his exact expression. Ah.
ま、せいぜい頑張れ。
Thanks, boss. Cinderella patted me on the shoulder. Thanks, I guess. Oh? Another Cinderella's POV. With work over for the day, I promptly headed back to my room. There, I heaved a sigh of relief. It felt so freeing to have some time to myself. I was exhausted, especially after today. Granted, the cafe wasn't especially busy. Really, it was no different from usual. So, why was I so tired, you ask? Because there was something else, something that was different. Something incredibly draining to deal with. Oh, yes! I scanned my eyes over my workbench, my half-finished projects, my glass rods, my blowtorch. On the shelf sat a dozen different figurines lined in rows.
あいつ、露骨に見たいでさアピールしてきやがって。
I could picture the exact look on her face the moment I showed her. She'd probably smile and hug me. Not that I minded her hugging me, of course, but after today, the last thing I needed was to humiliate myself further. Aww. That morning during cafe setup.
さっきからガラス細工とにらめっこしてるけど、どうしたの？
Oh, I was just sort of marveling at how human hands can create something so delicate and beautiful. It makes me wonder who made them, what sort of tools they used, what they were thinking when they made it.
それって、つまり製造方法を見学したいってこと？
Oh, do the brothers know about Cinderella's hobby? Exactly. Oh, she shot me a glance.
なんだよ。
Oh, nothing. That afternoon, after we closed the cafe. Say, Gretel, do you know where I can find any glass thingies?
みたいなの？
Yeah, glass thingies.
グラスじゃなくて。
Kinda.
それなら、その辺の棚にたくさんあるじゃないですか。頭大丈夫ですか？
Maybe my obsession's getting too strong. I can't think straight.
本当に大丈夫ですか？兄さんにこき使われて疲れたんじゃないですか？少し休んだ方がいいと思いますよ。
No, no, I'm fine. Sorry to scare you.
ほう。
Once again, she shot me a glance. Gaze.
なんだよ。
Nothing. Later that night, after dinner. Gaze.
おい、 言いたいことははっきり言え。気色悪いんだよ。
Oh, okay, can't.
やっぱダメだ。
Oh, come on. It was taxing to say the least.
今日だけで何回目があったことか。
I was 99% sure, no, 100% sure that she was doing this on purpose. After all the time we'd spent together, I knew full well what she was like.
あ
I sighed again. Thinking back over the day's events reminded me of what happened this morning. The second I walked into her room, my eyes landed on the little glass dove I'd made. She'd set it right at eye level on a shelf near the door.
あんなガラクタなんかを大事そうにして。
Why can't I meet a girl like Alice or a boy like Kaguya, right? It was the first figurine I'd ever made. Really? It was his first? And he gave it to us? At the time, I had sorely underestimated just how hard it would be to mold a dove. Frankly, considering how badly I failed, I should have thrown the thing out, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Instead, I ended up essentially dumping my trash on someone else and calling it a gift. Meanwhile, blissfully unaware of my intentions, she used it to decorate her room. What a joke. I picked up my half-finished project. My skills had improved a good deal since my first attempt, or so I wanted to believe. But these skills were worthless without anyone to show them off to. Someone who could fall in love with my work. When I thought about it that way, maybe that dove was actually a masterpiece. Let yourself be loved, Cinderella. I can't remember exactly how old I was when I got my first glass sculptures. But I remember that pair of birds painfully well. As I recall, my father had brought them home as a souvenir from a distant country. He must have known how much I loved sparkly things.
すごく綺麗だ。
Aww. Sure enough, I fell in love with them straight away. They were vibrant, colorful, and about the size of my fist, his tiny little boy fists. Handcrafted by a Venetian glass maestro, or so he told me. Even as a child, I could tell that they were more than mere toys. They were special. And so my father explained to me,
この鳥は赤霊といってつがいの鳥なんだ。
Aw,
つがい？
雌雄がいつも一緒の鳥。つまり夫婦ということさ。この国の昔の名前では神様がこの鳥の動作を見て夫婦の道を知ったという神話に由来しているそうだ。この鳥はいつも一緒なんだ。だから片方だけではなく両方大事にしてあげなさい。
that's adorable.
大事にする。
そしてお前の前に大事な人が現れた時、そのつがいの鳥の片方を渡しなさい。
Oh.
そうすればもう二人は離れ離れになることはない。
As he spoke, he patted me on the head. Looking back, that was the last fatherly thing he ever did for me. And so I treasured both of those birds just as my father told me. I put them in a tall shelf in the living room where I could admire them, and no one else was allowed to touch them. But one day I accidentally dropped one of the birds. Oh, look at him! Oh, it could have been avoided if only I'd been more careful. Look at him! That's a baby! That's a baby. For some reason I had wanted to hold them, so I had brought a chair over to the shelf so I could get up there. Unsurprisingly, I lost my balance. Desperate not to fall, I clung to the shelf, and in doing so I inadvertently knocked one of the birds to the floor. In an instant, it shattered into tiny pieces all over the carpet. Naturally, I panicked. I was terrified of getting in trouble with my parents. I didn't want them to be angry or sad or disappointed, and so I swept up all the little fragments. Did I cut myself on the glass? If I did, I didn't notice. I was too flustered to care. Once I'd swept up all the pieces, I dumped them in a trash bag and hid it in a drawer. Of course, it quickly became obvious that one of the birds was missing. No surprise there. Anyone would notice when their valuable glass art suddenly vanished. So when they asked me what had happened to it, I tearfully confessed to breaking it. Oh, that's a good and honest boy. Oh, baby. In the end, they never did yell at me. And then the broken fragments were disposed of. Alone, I looked up at the one remaining magtail. He wailed a mournful song. After all, his other half was gone forever. And it was all my fault. Now he would never see his beloved wife again. Cinderella! Because I destroyed her. Cinderella! And those shards of glass pierced me to the core. He's a baby. Alrighty, here we go. Got my sleeves rolled up, got my tools, now I'm ready to get started.
何やってんだ
Oh, hi, Cinderella. I'm fixing the door, of course. There I was, standing on a chair, hammering the metal fixture into place. One of our customers told me how to fix it. We should be good to go. I turned back to look at him. It was nice being taller than him for a change. Hey, Cinderella, lean against this wall. I want to do a kabedon.
ならわざわざ自分でやらずにその客に頼めばよかったんじゃねえの
You can't ask that of a customer. Ask a customer to help me? No way, that's ridiculous.
業者に頼んだ方が早かっただろ
Maybe if I had no other option left. I mean, think about it. Turns out I can do it myself for free, no cost to you. I appealed to his inner frugality. Obviously, not everyone can do these things themselves, but still, it's worth a try.
ただより高いものはねえって言うけどな失敗したらどうすんだ
He suddenly looked down. Yeah? His expression seemed conflicted, hesitant. Just as I was wondering what was on his mind.
パンツ見えてるけど
There it is! I was wondering, since it only said that we were standing on a chair and not a ladder, I was wondering if there was enough room. Reflexively, I pressed my skirt firmly against my thighs. Why didn't you say so sooner? Why didn't you just tell me?
いや面白いなーって
I'm suing you, boss. He looked strangely pensive. Can we get some pensive emojis in the chat? It's not funny. You're such a jerk. I hate you.
あんたも人並みの羞恥心はあるんだな
His lips curled in a smirk. What a bully. You've got it all wrong. These aren't panties, they're shorts. Yeah, that's it.
んな布地が薄いズボンなんてあるか
Oh, were you taking a good hard look at them, Cinderella? Okay, maybe shorts isn't the right term. It's one of those, you know. I could picture it, but I couldn't think of the word for it.
あれじゃわからん
What do you call them? They're, cut like panties, but you still wear panties under them thing? You know, the shorts you wear when you're doing exercise? Volleyball shorts? Spandex, that's it. Bloomers!
恥ずかしがるなよだいたいあんたは初日に上も下も見せてんだ今さらパンツの一つや二つくらい
Don't bring that up right now.
今だから言うんだよ
You think this is funny?
笑うだろういつも涼しい顔してるやつが顔を真っ赤にして取り乱してりゃなてっきりわざと見せてんのかと思って
I would never disrespect myself like that.
へ
I was really embarrassed about that, FYI. I just didn't want to bring it up again, and besides... just turn around. At my insistence, he mercifully turned away.
えはいはいそんな恥ずかしけりゃ降りればいいだろ
Oh, right. Whoops. This was quickly shaping up to be a string of careless mistakes. Whoop! The instant I shifted my weight, my world suddenly flipped upside down.
アリス
Oh, no CG. I opened my eyes to find myself sitting on top of Cinderella. Oh, God, Cinderella, are you okay? Are you hurt?
まあな。
Oh, thank goodness. I heaved a sigh of relief, then remembered what was in my hand. A hammer! Good thing I didn't hit you with this. It's practically a blunt weapon.
ドンキのようなものっつうか、ドンキそのものだろう。で、勤務先の店長をムカついたから殺したってか。
Not yet. I hear that's fairly common, actually.
笑えない冗談だ。
Nope. Look, are you sure you're okay? You're not just putting up a tough front, are you? Thanks to Cinderella's noble sacrifice, I was totally fine. He, on the other hand, got slammed flat to the ground. Surely that had to hurt at least a little.
人をガキ扱いすんな。大丈夫だよ。
You are protecting me. The least I can do is worry.
かばったんじゃなくて、あんたが俺の上に落ちてきたんだよ。
What would it feel like to have 100+ pounds of weight suddenly dropped on you? I paused to imagine it. Yikes.
ね、あんたはいつまで俺に覆いかぶさってるつもりだ。
Hi, Mira. Yeah, of course it's apple juice. Mira, did you know that it's International Boyfriend Day? Why? Why do they need a day for that? All the people who are boyfriends or have boyfriends, why do they need that? Don't you already have Valentine's Day? Don't you already have dates, the way that couples do? Why? Anyway. It was then that I realized I was on top of him in a rather suggestive position. Sorry about that. But the moment I tried to get up... Oh, did I sprain my ankle? A sharp pain shot through my ankle and I collapsed back on top of him. Oh? Does that give you a feeling, Cinderella?
どうした？
Oh, no, it's nothing. I tried to ignore the pain, but Cinderella took me by the arm.
足をひねったのか？
Yeah. No sense in lying about it after all.
しょうがないやつだな。あんたは。
CG? No CG. The shelf was covered with dozens of glass crafts. Plants, flowers, jewelry boxes, and multicolored poppin' pipes. All made of glass, all sparkling in the light. What's a poppin' pipe? Wow. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Ooh, ouch. It was my first time in Cinderella's room, and my excitement was at an all-time high. Until my ankle pain put a damper on it, that is.
人の部屋ではしゃぐからだ。ほら、ここでしばらくおとなしくしてろ。
He helped me walk to the bed. Aw, for a moment there I was starting to feel like a princess.
誰がお姫様だ。ほら、足出せ。
Huh? He held out his hand. Okay. After a moment of hesitation, I placed my foot in his palm. CG!
痛むか？
Oh, so that's our uniform. Oh, that really is cute. It's really cute and it really is very flashy compared to Snow White and Gretel's. Aww. Look at him. That's a really cute dress. Yeah, leggy. Oh, Eureka is so cute. He gently brushed my ankle with his fingertips. A little.
腫れてはいないな。変な風にひねっただけか。 バランスを崩したヒロインがヒーローに助けてもらう。それで、その後に手当てをする。
I know, right? Like a prince and princess. I looked away shyly.
寒。
Apparently, Cinderella did not find it as cute as I did. You jerk, I hate you.
パンツ見られた時よりも
He shot me a sadistic smirk. Well, yeah, that's right. I hate you even more now.
開き直りやがった。
As I pouted, he ruffled my hair. Ah, yeah, this is the good stuff. Huh?
ま、これくらいなら湿布でも貼っておけば大丈夫だろ。
With that, he walked out of the room, only to return a few minutes later with an ice pack. Then he sat back down, picked up my foot, and gently pressed it to my ankle. Thank you. The chill felt nice against my skin. I was expecting him to hand the ice pack off to me so I could handle it myself, but he didn't.
あんた、足が小さいんだな。
Ah, so this is the part where Cinderella awakens. I do? He ran his fingers along the sole of my foot. It tickled and I twisted slightly.
ああ、あんたの足ならどんな靴でも似合いそうだ。
That's the first time anyone's ever said that to me. Oh no, it's his kink? I mean, he's Cinderella. Were you expecting anything different?
俺もそんなこと人に初めて言ったからな。
Well, thank you. An awkward silence descended between us. These glass crafts are all really pretty. I'm impressed. You made all of these? I glanced around the room, hoping to distract from my embarrassment.
ああ、まあな。
They're beautiful. I really like the rose and the butterfly. How do you make them? Wow, you even made a rose?
ガラスの棒をバーナーで溶かしながらピンセットで形を整えていくんだよ。
Oh man, that sounds so cool. Do you think I could learn to do it too?
簡単なもんならな。やりたいのか。
Yeah, I want to make a glass heart. Yes, please.
物好きなやつだな。
That's hardly the worst thing you've called me. So, what's your next project?
秘密だ。
Oh? Come on, that just makes me more curious.
だったら完成したら真っ先に見せてやるよ。できるかどうかわかんねえけどな。
Promise? You mean it?
あ。なんだよ。
I was just thinking, you're a big softie, huh? I bet you brought me to your room because you knew I wanted to see all your glass crafts.
まあ、あれだけ露骨にアピールされればな。
That's why you're the best, boss. And not only are you a softie, but you're actually really dedicated to your work. You're such a gentleman. Oh no, he's soft. Ah, yes. I looked over at the door. On first glance, it appeared to be completely closed, but in fact, it had been left ajar. And I had a feeling he'd done so on purpose so I wouldn't feel trapped. Oh, he knows how to treat a lady. Oh, he's so conscientious. Oh, he's so considerate. Oh no. I bet he's the type who would send you text messages to make sure that you got home safely.
ああ。別に閉めたっていいんだぜ。
But you're not going to, because you know your brothers will tease us if they find us alone in here together. I purposely decided not to offer the real reason.
わかってるじゃねえか。
Yep, you're a sweet and loving older brother. After seeing the way he interacted with Snow White and Gretel during work, I could tell that he cared for them a lot. Plus, you always put in a lot of effort at work, and you do all these nice things for me. This was everything I had learned about Cinderella over the course of my stay here. I'm sorry to be such a burden. I closed my eyes in shame.
なんだよ突然。随分と塩らしいじゃねえか。怪我でも痛むのか。
No, that's not it. The more kindly he treated me, the more guilty I felt lying to him. I know I can be a bit pushy.
少しだいぶの間違いだろ。
And I'm sort of, you know.
自分のことよくわかってんじゃねえか。
Do these things bother you? Slowly I looked up to find him staring intently back. My heart skipped a beat. Oh, I took a deep breath. Would you change your personality for someone else? Absolutely not. If it bothers you, I hope you can learn to accept it. How would he react to this?
なんだそりゃ。
He snickered. I can't change the way I am. Can't help being a Gemini. At this, Cinderella smiled softly.
ま、あんたのそういうところは割と嫌いじゃない。別に迷惑だとか思ってねえよ。あんたがうちに来てからいろいろ賑やかになって楽しいと思ってる。どうした？
Oh, it's nothing. You're not your usual self today, are you?
ああ、そうかもしれないな。俺も頭打ったのかもな。あんたをかばったせいで。でも、俺らしくないって。じゃあどんな反応すりゃ俺らしいんだよ。あんたは俺のことをもっともらしく語るけど、勝手に想像してるだけだろ。
But I wanna. Well... I hesitated. He had a point after all. I needed to find out if my assessment of him was actually accurate. It's only been 2 weeks since we first met, so there's probably a lot I still don't know about you.
まあな。あんたは俺のことを全くもって理解していない。でも、時間をかければ相手のことがわかるのか。
It's generally accepted that the longer you're around someone, the more your understanding of them will deepen.
俺はそうは思わない。結局、同じだ。どんなに長く一緒にいたって、わからないものはわからない。相手が何を考えてるのかなんて、心でも覗けない限りな。
Yeah, there needs to be effort on both sides.
言葉なんて確証があるわけでも保証があるわけでもない。取り繕うことなんて簡単だ。
Cinderella.
だから相手のことを分かってるっていうのは本当に相手のことを分かっているんじゃない。ただ分かったふりをしているだけだ。そしてそれは俺も同じだ。
Are you trying to say you don't know me?
本質的にはな。
Well, do you want to? Or does the mystery make it more fun? Do you prefer to fill in the gaps yourself?
さあな。
He lowered his gaze to the floor. Cinderella. When the clock strikes 12, the spell would be broken, and everything will be as it was before. That's what makes me get so pushy, because I know I'm running out of time. Does the Cinderella fairy tale exist here?
そうだな。楽しい時なんてあっという間だ。魔法はいつか解ける。
He got to his feet, walked to the dresser, and pulled out a manila folder. Is that? I swallowed, my eyes wide.
見合い写真だよ。
Oh, I see. I tried to act casual, but my voice was shaking.
俺は見ず知らずのお嬢様と結婚するんだとさ。
What's she like?
見てない。興味がないからな。
Oh boy. He's gonna find out. That wasn't what I was expecting. But you're going to marry her anyway?
そうだ。
Don't you at least want to know who she is?
別に。
What if she's like totally gorgeous?
そしたらラッキーじゃねえか。
Yeah, I guess. Oh, but what if she's a total snake?
別にどうも。どのみち写真なんかじゃ。
You never know. Maybe you'll take one look at the photo and get a premonition.
あんたは俺に結婚してほしいのか。
Yes. I mean, obviously it's his own choice, right? I mean, it's your choice.
そうか。
At my response, he grabbed the blowtorch off his workbench and began to fidget with it. Oh my god! The next instant... What are you doing? Cinderella had set the entire folder aflame. I could not believe what I was seeing. I leapt up to stop him, sprained ankle be darned.
俺には必要ないからな。
What do you mean?
さあな。俺に
There in the firelight, Cinderella looked every bit as sad and lonely as he did in that paparazzi photo. Oh. Hey, Alice, your door's fixed now.
遅い。まったく君は本当にノロマだな。ウサギとカメの。
I know. I'm sorry. As soon as he opened the door, I cut him off and walked straight inside. Good night. See you tomorrow. He took one look at me and left my room without another word. Oh, he's being considerate in his own way. As soon as I shut the door behind me, my emotions overwhelmed me in a tidal wave and I collapsed on the spot. My heart was pounding out of control. Does he know? That manila folder looked an awful lot like the one I had received. Of course, I never saw the contents, so I can't be sure. What was he thinking, burning it like that? What do I do? Oh, thank you for the zip thing! What is a boyfriend but a miserable pile of secrets? The answer, of course, was nothing. It was out of my hands now. All this time I'd been under a magic spell. A spell cast upon me to conceal my true identity, so I might approach my beloved prince. But I knew, going in, that this ball wouldn't last forever. And on the 12th stroke, the spell would be broken. Eureka. The next morning, I got up and started my routine, same as always.
He-san?
Kaguya! Bang, you're gonna love Kaguya. He speaks in Kansai, Ben. The sudden voice made me nearly jump out of my skin. I spun around to find... Kaguya, what are you doing here?
She...
He pressed a finger to my lips. Why are you here, Kaguya? If they find you... He smiled softly.
He-san, 時間切れや。うちに帰ろ
What?
う。おかみさんの言いつけや。今すぐに帰ってこいってな。
I can't just leave? It's too sudden. My whisper escalated to a shout as I grabbed his arm. Just a few short days ago, he told me my parents had instructed him to observe the situation first. How could I be out of time already?
僕もびっくりしてんけどな。シンデレラさんとの縁談やけど、昨日の夜に連絡があって、向こうから断ってきたらしい。
What? My heart thumped in my chest.
せやから、もうこんなことせえへんでもええんやで。
But... I looked at Kaguya for a long time, then hung my head. It was taking everything I had not to burst into tears right then and there. I can't just leave in the middle of everything. I haven't even told them the truth about me.
ぶっちゃけてどうなる？実は私はシンデレラさんの婚約者でした。今まで嘘をついてあなたを観察してました。はい、めでたしめでたしってなると思う？
Kaguya. I shook my head. No, it won't be that simple. The cafe hasn't even been given a Michelin star yet. Do we have cars? Do we have cars for Michelin tires? I forgot already.
せやろ？真実を打ち明けるっちゅうんは嘘をついてたからや。
せやろ？
嘘をついて騙して自分は相手に許されたいとほんまに思ってるん？
せやろ？they won't.
ごめんな。僕も君をいじめたいわけはないんやけど。
I could tell he was starting to feel bad, so I took a breath and donned a smile. It's not your fault, Kaguya. This is the path I chose, and I have to live with that.
ほんまはこないなことさせたくないんやけど、このままここにいても何の得にもならへんばかりか。
It'll all make things worse between our two families, won't it? I'm never gonna see him again, am I?
その方がみんなにとって一番幸せかもしれんな。
I should have told him to marry his arranged fiancée. Fine, I'll come home.
ごめんな。何も力になれんくて。
It's okay.
外で待っとるから用意しとき。
He gently stroked my hair. I guess that's everything. In my room, I had stuffed all my belongings back into my suitcase. Clothes, toothbrush, towel, the exact contents I put into it when I first left home. But what about the ornament? What should I do with this? I picked up the glass figurine sitting on the shelf. Had I made the wrong choice in coming here? Would things have worked out differently if I'd just been honest with him from the start? Huh? What's a cat doing here? It's the wizard!
やあ、ヒロインちゃん。珍しくへこんでるね。
Wizard, help me! Will you be my fairy godmother? Mr. Wizard, what are you doing here?
さあ、どうしてだろう。不思議だね。でもまあほら、僕は魔法使いだし、魔法を使ったのかも。
Boss, there's a strange man climbing through my window. Did you need something?
君に助言をしようと思ってきたのさ。
I'm listening.
かわいそうなヒロインちゃん。君は道を間違えた。ハッピーエンドを迎えたいのなら、もう一度最初からやり直すほかない。しおりを挟んでいるなら、そこからでもいい。きっと君はどこかで選択肢を誤ったんだ。君はハッピーエンドを目指さなければならない。
Oh? What are you talking about? What happy ending?
知らない？童話にはつきもののめでたしめでたしってやつだよ。
I mean, I get that, but...
君は物語のヒロインだ。お姫様は王子様と結ばれる運命にある。でも、運命は自分で掴み取るものだ。だからこそ、君は運命に身を流されるのではなく、必然を選び続けなければいけない。
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying.
いつか理解できるさ。では、ヒロインちゃん、数分後か数時間後か、はたまたもっともっと遠い遠い日、また君に会えるのを楽しみにしてるよ。
Interesting. Well. I guess the wizard knows more than he lets on. Gotta skip this or else I'll get a copyright strike. Okay, so I will skip all of this because we read it before. See, so I need to tell him to go for it. Yes. Foot fetish awakening? Do not change my personality, nope. Do you want Cinderella to go through with it? Yes, and this is going to have really bad immediate consequences, isn't it? It's going to make him think that we don't love him, and that he should just go with what his parents say. This is gonna get really messy. Yes, I do.
なぜ
I can't tell you.
そうか
Whoop! Oh, he's gonna burn it anyway.
俺さあな
Eh? Well, then where does this split?
ただいま父さん
Huh?
おお、シンデレラか。珍しいじゃないか。お前がここに帰ってくるだなんて。
What is this place?
ああまあなちょっと父さんに話したいことがあってきた。
話したいこと？それはこの間の見合い話のことか？
ああああ
どうだ、いい子だろう。あれは昔の知り合いの娘でね。私が会ったのはもう随分と昔のことだが、家柄といい、あんないい縁談なんてめったにない。
そのことだけど
気に入らなかったか？まあ実際に会って話をすれば気が変わるものさ。とりあえず話はこちらで滞りなく進めている。
We should have told him right away.
相手方も乗り気でな。お前のことを褒めていたよ。あとは実際に。
そうじゃなくて気に入ったとか気に入らないとかそんなのはどうでもいいんだ。ただやっぱりその気になれないんだ。
We have a chance.
ただ見合いをするだけならいい。俺だってまだ若いんだ。いろいろやりたいことだってやれることだってある。
シンデレラ、お前は何を甘えたことを言ってるんだ。お前にその気はなくとも、お前はあの娘と結婚するしかないんだ。
ああ、わかってるよ。
I thought that Cinderella's family was even more loaded than we were. What happened?
大丈夫だ、シンデレラ。お前は何も心配することはない。お前が彼女と結婚してくれれば、すべてうまくいく。
Oh? Ever since that fateful night, my relationship with Cinderella had changed slightly. Speculation is, in this route, no matter your answer, the first attempt always fails, and there's at least 2 ways to get the good end. Does his money disappear at midnight? I mean, maybe he has a debt that needs to get collected?
そうだ。そのまま。先が丸くなるまでゆっくりと回転させるんだ。
Oh, it changed in a good way! Like this? Oh, look at them! I slowly rotated the glass rod under the blowtorch.
ああ、いいぞ。気をつけろよ。
Don't worry, I won't! Change number 1. After work each day, Cinderella would tutor me in glass crafts. Today I was practicing a technique called glass blowing.
よし。じゃあ次はこれにガラスを巻きつけて。
Oh, we're so close! He was a good teacher, but the hands-on nature of the work meant he spent each lesson very, very close to me. I acted like it was no big deal, of course, but truth be told, it was distracting. Man, this is tricky. My palms were sweaty, mom's spaghetti, and not just from the heat of the flame.
まあな。けど 簡単に作れないからこそ価値があるんだろ
Yeah, it feels like you can never make the same thing twice. Like stepping into a river.
う。ポエマ、ごたくはいいから集中しろ。失敗するぞ。
Right. I took a deep breath and willed myself to focus on the glass. Once I gathered the glass onto the blowing iron, it was time for the next stage of the process. As I blew into the blowing iron, the glass began to swell up like a big bubble. My nerves had me trembling, but Cinderella guided me carefully.
そうだ。いいぞ。その調子だ。
Oh, I love when I'm praised.
で、膨らんだら、またバーナーで炙りながら、くるくると回す。
Oh? Back under the flame and start turning. Cinderella took these lessons very seriously. It was patently obvious how much he loved glass crafts. I could hear it in his voice, see it in his eyes. Done! I now had a little ball of glass at the end of my iron. Not half bad, me.
触るなよ。やけどするぞ。
I wasn't gonna. Next we do the ash glaze and then we let it cool, right?
そうだ。ほら、早くしないと割れるぞ。
Uh-oh, we don't want that. I cut the glass ball from the tip of the blowing iron with my shears, then placed it in the bucket of ash. Phew. Now we just wait, huh?
あんた器用だな。もうここまで作れるようになったか。
It's because I have a good teacher. What does the ash do? How is the shape? Was it lumpy or anything?
見える見える。
Maybe I've got a knack for it or something. Not to toot my own horn, but during our last lesson, I'd made the cutest little glass kitten. Wow, she really is progressing. And now here I was with yet another success under my belt. Ash cools it quickly and won't catch fire? Oh.
器用すぎて面白みがない。教える甲斐もない。ついでに可愛げもない。
You're just jealous because I'm naturally gifted. How sad. I pretended to wipe away a tear.
自分で完璧すぎてとか言うな。
Oh, what? He bonked me on the head and I giggled. Honestly, I'm only doing this well because I've got you for a teacher. You're extremely patient and thorough.
まあな。あとは俺がやっておくから、あんたは部屋に戻って寝ろ。
He averted his gaze and started to put the tools away. I guess it is getting late. I looked up at the clock to find it was nearly midnight.
ああ、今日はいつもより時間がかかっちまったな。
I really appreciate you taking the time to do this with me, especially since I know you must be exhausted after working a full day. Following his lead, I helped him tidy up the workbench.
俺は別にいいけど、あんたの方が大変だろう。
No, I feel like we've had this conversation before, but I don't really get tired when I'm doing what I enjoy. So, if we get married... I'm sorry. I mean it. I look up at him and our eyes met.
なあ、明日一緒に買い物に行くか。
It's a date! Shopping? Sure. I can carry your bags for you or whatever you need. When are we going? After work?
いや、明日は店を休む。
We can do that? I blinked in surprise. This is sudden. Are you sure?
よくよく考えりゃ、今までずっと働き詰めだったろ。なんでかって言ったら、うちには定休日がなかったんだ。
You're right, that's no way to work. Oh, you're right. Gosh, I didn't even think about that. I've been so distracted with work and everything else, I totally overlooked it. Somehow the four of us had entirely forgotten the concept of time off.
いくらなんでも定休日くらいは作るべきだろう。うちはブラックじゃねえんだ。
He's a good boss. But if we do that, we'll be missing out on profits. Besides, it's not like anyone's complained about it.
なんで従業員のあんたがブラック推奨なんだよ。
You're the one who told me to pull myself up by my bootstraps and make the cafe a nationwide success. Oh, hi, Mel. Thank you, Mel.
あれ 時のノリだ。別に利益とかこだわってねえよ。人件費も大したことねえしな。
Benefits of a family-run business, eh?
だからたまには休んでもいいんじゃねえの。あんたは働きすぎだ。
You think so? I tilted my head in contemplation. Truth be told, I barely even felt fatigued. Cinderella shot me a withering stare.
あのな、
What is it?
俺があんたと一緒に出かけたいんだよ。というわけで、明日は休みだ、休み。これはオーナー命令だ。
He admitted it! Got it! I flinched as he pointed sternly in my face.
よし。ああ、そうだ。あんたにこれやるよ。
Oh? He grabbed a shopping bag, pulled something out, and put it on my head. Oh? Is this a hat?
そうだ。
Oh?
うん。似合うじゃねえか。やっぱ俺の見立ては間違ってないみたいだな。
It's a dunce hat. He nodded, evidently pleased with himself.
なんだよ。嬉しくないのかよ。
Oh, no, I love it. I was just thinking, see, you only gave me that lovely brooch yesterday. Oh? Oh, he's been, like, escalating his flirting, has he? You see, the glass crafting lessons weren't the only big change as of late. This right here? This was the other recent development.
迷惑なら捨てろよ。
No, I do want it. I really, really appreciate it.
なら、素直に喜んでおけばいいだろう。こういう時はな、素直に喜ぶ方が可愛いんだよ。
Oh, thank you. Holding the brim of my cap, I bowed politely.
よし。
Oh, I want him to praise me and pat me on my head. Change number 2. Cinderella had started to shower me with gifts. Cinderella, are you doing a maladjusted coping? This was the first thing out of Snow White's mouth when I went to consult the boys for advice. It really looks that way, doesn't it?
女に入れ上げてそのまま泥沼になって破産しそう。
Oh god. Oh god, Cinderella's becoming a simp. Simpderella. Simpderella. Whose fault would that be, though?
貢いだ男がバカ。だけど、貢がせた女もいい女じゃない。
I folded my arms and pondered this. How was I meant to handle it?
迷惑なら迷惑とはっきり言った方が相手のためですよ。
But that would hurt his ego. Besides, who doesn't like free stuff?
なら素直に受け取ったらいいじゃないですか。あの人、買い物が趣味ですし。
But it feels like he's trying to use it to convey feelings he doesn't want to say out loud.
金遣いが荒いけどね。
そうですね。運転もできないのに高級外車を買ったり。
Ah, so cars do exist. I see. Cars do exist, and they presumably use tires. So it is possible for this cafe to earn a Michelin star.
特に好きでもないのに宝石を集めたり。
本人は宝石よりも安価なガラス製品が好きなくせに。
Oh, you know about that?
当たり前です。これでも兄弟ですよ。
As it turned out, the two of them did actually care for their older brother.
今は小物を渡してるみたいだけど、そのうちどんどんランクがアップしていくんじゃない。
I think the boys should kiss. Mel, I regret to inform you that these two are brothers.
高級バッグに宝石、車に果ては家まで。
Oh gosh, I don't want him to go that far. Frankly, none of these gifts were things I really needed. Houses and cars, infinitely more so. I just wish I could do something for him in return.
てっきり。
I don't know, I mean, I've been trying. The two brothers exchanged a glance, then shrugged in unison.
ま、あなたと兄さんの間に何があって、突然兄さんがあなたに貢ぎ出したのかは わかるようでわかりませんけど。
There's other hot boys who could kiss, like Kaguya and Wizard. We haven't seen them interact, but since they're both sort of mystery men, I do wonder. Actually, and Kaguya and the Wizard are supposed to be part of the same volume, aren't they? Because this game is split up into 4 episodes? Let me see. Taisho, Alice... Oh, no, I was wrong. Volume 2 is going to be Kaguya and Gretel, and 3 is going to be Snow White and the Wizard. Oh. I didn't expect Snowy to be so late. Are you okay, Snowy?
僕たちがただ働きして得た利益であなたへ貢いでいるのだとしたら、それはシンデレラ兄さんからというより僕たち兄弟からと言った方が正しいですよね。
Do you consent? Do you want me to make it up to you?
どうやって？
After a pause, I wiggled my fingers. I could give you a free massage. With a massage. Just giving them massage coupons like I'm 5 or something.
遠慮します。
Shut down. Everyone says I'm really good though, and by everyone I mean my dad. As I spoke, I donned my brand new cap. In the mirror, I could see one very giddy girl beaming back at me. How's it look?
似合いますよ。
アリス、笑って。
Okay. At his request, I flashed him my pearly whites.
まあ、いいんじゃない？
Really? It's not all stiff and awkward looking? I pushed up the corners of my lips with my fingers.
緊張してるんだ。
Of course I am. It's been 3 whole weeks since the last time I went into town with Cinderella. Ooh. Yeah, these boys are so good to their sister-in-law. The thought makes me so giddy, but at the same time, I'm so anxious.
ああ、はいはいはいはい。
He really does not want to listen to their love life, though. Gretel interrupted me with a look of abject annoyance on his face. Just then, a thought occurred to me, and I decided to change the subject. What about you guys? Are you going anywhere today? After all, this was a rare day off for the 4 of us. Frankly, the 2 of them ought to get out of the house for a change. Maybe go on a date with a cute girl? Or a cute boy?
アリスさん、ここにアリスさんを呼んできましょうか。
Ah, apparently I'd struck a nerve. No, please, anything but that. I'm so sorry. I immediately fell to my hands and knees in submission. I could already picture what Alice might say.
リア充気取りの上から目線発言。
Reassure.
やっぱり君の体の半分は嫌味でできているよ。
He called me Ariaju.
お礼に君の浮かれた気分が少しでも沈むように、カップルの別れ話まとめでも読み聞かせてやる。ありがたく平服して聞きたまえよ。
Yeah, I'll pass. I looked up to find Gretel wearing his most threatening smile. Eek. We should be back later tonight. Oh, and I don't have much to offer in the way of lunch, so since I didn't know what anyone's plans were, my voice wavered hesitantly. Be good, boys. Explode, Alice, and turn to cinders.
別に大丈夫ですよ。勝手にいただきます。
Oh, and I left Alice a note telling him I wouldn't be home.
わかりました。気にかけておきます。
Make sure he doesn't starve, okay? Thanks. I better get going now. Right as I got to my feet.
アリス、リボンが曲がってるよ。
Snow White helpfully indicated my ribbon. It is, you're right. Upon inspection, sure enough, the ribbon on my sleeve was completely crooked. As I contemplated what to do about it, Snow White walked over and quietly reached for my ribbon. Apparently he wanted to help me fix it. Aww, and this is Snow White who doesn't like touching people. Unfortunately, this didn't go so well. As soon as he untied the ribbon, he froze in place like a deer in headlights. What's wrong, Snow White?
できない。
Oh, you're doing your best. All right. I'd forgotten just how little he was generally capable of. Aww. Well, that's okay. I can just do it myself. But this fell on deaf ears. Snow White was off in his own little world. Him versus the ribbon. As I gazed at his handsome face up close, I thought back to that fateful night just a few weeks ago. If he hadn't called out to me that night, I wouldn't even be here right now. Back then, I'd been worried that I wouldn't get along with him or Gretel, but these days it felt like we were all good friends.
おい、何やってんだ。
Whoa! All of a sudden, Cinderella's voice snapped me out of my reverie.
やけに遅いと思ったら何勝手にこいつのこと借りてんだよ。
Cinderella pulled me over to him and casually put his arm around my shoulder. Oh, that's so dreamy.
彼女はあなたのものじゃない。
I can be if you want, Cinderella.
こいつは俺と約束してるんだよ。
It's not their fault, Cinderella. I just wanted to talk to them. I attempted to mollify his bad mood.
あんたもあんただ。年頃の女が男を自分の部屋に招き入れるな。
I flinched as he glared and shouted at me.
自分はズケズケと入ってきたくせに。
I mean, he does.
俺はいいんだよ。ね、用は終わったのか？
Yes, sir. I saluted him with my free hand.
だったら行くぞ。
Right. Cinderella started to turn, but stopped himself.
ちょっと待った。リボンがほどけてるぞ。じっとしてろ。
In a blink, he retied my sleeve ribbon.
ほら、できたぞ。
Oh, thank you. He's so good with his hands. Oh boy, what else do those hands do? Oh, well, see you boys later. I waved to Gretel and Snow White as the two of us left the room. And so there I was on my long-awaited date with Cinderella. Our first stop was a certain well-known looking-glass clothing boutique.
じゃあ、これとこれと、ああ、これもいいな。
Cinderella? Cinderella?
ほら、これ、着てみろよ。
Cinderella? After loading me up with a mountain of clothes, he ushered me to the fitting room. Well, okay. Once I'd finished changing, I stepped out to find Cinderella and the shop clerk both smiling at me. How's it look?
まあ、とてもお似合いです。お連れ様はとても可愛らしいので、何でもお似合いになりますが。
Oh wow, she is really good at buttering people up.
際立ってお似合いになります。
That's right, it's the rich boyfriend shopping trip trope. Then the clerk deftly turned her compliments of me into a compliment of Cinderella. Crafty.
まあな。じゃあ次はこれだ。
With that, he handed me even more clothes. Again. How many outfits does this make? We barely started the date and already I was feeling like Cinderella's personal dress-up doll. No, I'm a different sort of doll, Cinderella. I'm sorry. 30 minutes later. After trying on my 10th outfit, I was looking for the right moment to ask Cinderella if we could call it a day. What is it, Tuxedoji?
どれもまあまあ良かったな。よし、これ全部くれ。
Hi, Lordum. Nothing. It's just a shopping trip with Cinderella. Completely wholesome. Eh? I could scarcely believe my ears.
ありがとうございます。
I hurried back into the fitting room and changed back into the clothes I was originally wearing.
こうなってくると、あとはアクセサリーが必要だよな。
お客様、それでしたら当店の。
Cinderella? Before the clerk could launch into her sales pitch, I cut in at the speed of light.
どうした？って着替えたのかよ。新しい服のままいりゃいいのに。
No, you can't just walk out with the new clothes. You need to wash them first.
気に入らなかったのか？確かここのブランドって女が好きだよな。
I mean, you don't know how many other people have tried it or sneezed on it or whatever. Yes, I know that. Although the Looking Glass world was merely a backwoods tourist town, we still had our fair share of cute boutiques. How do you wash them in the store? You don't! That's why you need to bring them home and give them a wash first, and then you wear them. Personally, while I like to stay up to date on all the latest styles and accessories, I didn't feel the need to own absolutely everything. Even if I did want them, I would never throw my money around like that. There's actually something I want even more. Your love. I figured it would hurt his feelings to reject this gesture outright, so instead I went with a different tactic.
なんだ、それなら早く言えよ。何が欲しいんだ？買ってやるよ。
If it's raining, you can wear them. Signo! Well, I kinda wanted to be a surprise, and shopping bags will just get in the way, so let's not buy these clothes after all.
別に送ればいいだろう。
Vibing with this music. Yeah, it's really good music.
当店では配送も受けたまわっております。
Defeated! After a pause, I leveled Cinderella with a hard stare. We only have so much time, Cinderella, and I don't want to waste a second of it.
それもそうか。
He seemed reasonably convinced.
あの、
Oh no, this poor clerk's commission.
悪いな。全部キャンセルだ。
Sorry about this. Maybe next time. After successfully getting Cinderella out of the store, I led him through the shopping district.
ね？何が欲しいんだよ。
It's a secret. Now, where are we headed next? I forcibly changed the subject, hoping against hope that he would just forget about it altogether.
あんたの行きたいところでどうぞ。
Oh, I don't care where we go. I always have a good time when I'm with you.
南極でもか。
Glaciers and penguins sounds like a blast.
俺はこれ以上寒いのはごめんだ。
And let's walk around for a bit and take in the warm sunshine.
結局それか。
Feels like we're on a date, doesn't it?
デートだろう。
I knew this, of course, but hearing him say it flat out made me all giddy and bashful. Not gonna deny it this time? He smirked.
あの時とは気が変わったからな。
So, this is our first date, huh?
2回目じゃないのかよ。
You denied it the first time, so that one doesn't count. It was just rehearsal. But this is the real deal. My first date ever.
初めてって。
I've hung out with male friends, sure, but this is the first time it's ever been explicitly romantic. It's romantic, right?
それって相手はデートだと思ってたパターンだろ。ひって女。
No, those weren't dates. For something to count as a date, you have to be in an official relationship with, or at least romantically interested in the other person.
初めてということは、あのチャラ男も何の関係もないってことだよな。
He still has a grudge against Kaguya. Creep? Before I could ask who he was referring to, it hit me. Oh, you mean Kaguya? No, nothing.
好きだったんだろ。
Apparently, Cinderella was still operating under some sort of misunderstanding, although that was understandable considering I hadn't explained how Kaguya and I knew each other. No. You've got the wrong idea. I like Kaguya as a person, but I'm not interested in him like that. In this universe, anyway. We're just friends. Yeah.
含みのある言い方だな。
You must be imagining things.
じゃあ、俺のことは。
If you're asking whether I like you as a person, I should think that much is obvious.
それは知ってる。そうじゃなくて。
Cinderella glanced at me, then sighed. Oh, he wants me to say it. Go on, Eureka.
まあいい。
Come on. The next thing I knew... Well, he took my hand in his.
この方がデートらしいだろ。嫌なら振り払え。
Oh, no, I don't mind. He stared at the ground shyly. Ta-da! I made us a picnic lunch. As soon as we got to the lake, I sat down on a bench and pulled out all the food I'd made.
結局休んでねえじゃねえか。
Sure I do. I'm not working right now, am I?
昼飯なんてその辺の店で食べればよかっただろう。
Oh, are you tired of my cooking, Cinderella? That's too cruel. But this is a date, and picnics are classic date fodder.
まあな。それに あんたの作る飯はその辺の店よりうまいしな。そ
Oh,
れはわかる。
this is the long-awaited dere that we've all been pining for. Are you ready for your treat?
人を犬ころみたいに言うな。
I'm just messing with you. Okay, let's start with the quintessential say ah trope. I stabbed a piece of chicken with my fork and held it up to his mouth.
ねえ絶対に嫌だ。
Why not? Is say ah not the pinnacle of the home-cooked meal experience?
断る。
Don't be shy, no one's around. You have nothing to be embarrassed about. Come on, say ah. I made another attempt. Here comes the airplane. Aw, it really hurts my feelings when you glare at me like that.
嘘つけ。
I'm caught. I'm not lying. Believe it or not, my heart is actually rather fragile. Oh, I know. How about you feed me instead? Wasn't my clever idea? I put the fork down in front of him.
根本的な解決になってねえし。
Oh, do you want me to starve, Cinderella? I closed my eyes, opened my mouth, and waited for Cinderella to feed me. I waited and waited. But nobody came. I slowly opened my eyes to find Cinderella's face inches from mine. And then the next instant, whoa! He grabbed my shoulders. Cinderella?
あんたさ、そうやって人を挑発するような態度、いい加減やめろよ。俺は理性が利くけど、男がみんな俺みたいなやつとは限らない。
I don't think I mentioned very much before how much I really like his voice. Other boys would have taken the opportunity to disappear, wouldn't they, Lupin?
こうして男に押し倒されて、あんたどうにかできるのか。
This is a really bad trope. I wasn't trying to push your buttons.
天然ならなおたちが悪い。
Maybe I'm a temptress by nature?
大終わりだ。魔性の女。
I couldn't stop myself from laughing.
笑い事じゃない。
I fell silent at his admonishment. The air between us was so tense I could scarcely feel the sunshine. I don't let my guard down for just anyone, you know? I'm okay if it's you, Cinderella.
そうか。なあ、アリス。
Suddenly, Cinderella fell silent. Is something wrong?
いや、なんでもない。
He got to his feet, then helped me up. Thank you.
俺は紳士だからな。それでほら、早くしろ。食べさせてくれるんだろ。俺の気が変わらないうちに早くしろよ。
Oh, with that, he closed his eyes and opened his mouth. Oh, right, okay. I hastily brought the forkful of chicken back up to his mouth. Say ah. His lips closed around the fork. As I pulled away, he chewed and swallowed. How is it?
まあまあだな。
Now then, what to feed you next?
次もやるのかよ。
Of course not! Oh, I'm very serious. I'm going to feed you a bite of everything, and you're going to tell me it tastes good. I shot him a playful wink. Classic me.
あんたな。
Say ah!
あ、
Next, I offered him a forkful of omelet. Grimacing, he reluctantly opened his mouth once more. Classic Cinderella. In the end, the two of us were just being ourselves. Once we'd eaten our fill, it was time to continue our date. That evening? Looks like our date's finally coming to an end.
まあな。
Time really flies. Oh, his face looks so gorgeous in the sunset. Living together meant we'd never really have to say goodbye, and yet part of me didn't want the day to end. Hey, Cinderella, can we go over there?
はいはい。
Tugging on his arm, I led him to the heart of the shopping district. Oh, they changed the display. That's unfortunate. I peered through the window of the building on the corner. Last time we were here, it was decked out in glass figurines. This time, however, they had a red curtain hanging above a variety of desserts and champagne flutes. Looks like it's themed around a party of some kind. I guess it's that time of year.
こういうのは定期的に変わるからな。あんたと出会ってから短いなりに時が経ったって証拠だろ。
He gazed at the window display as he spoke. Oh, yeah, well, it's always nice to see something new for a change.
そうだな。
In the reflection of the glass, I could see his expression, so warm and gentle. I couldn't help but stare.
なんだよ、人の顔見て。
Cinderella fidgeted shyly under my gaze. You really come to life whenever you're around glass crafts, you know that?
好きだからな。つうか、これってガラス細工ってよりウィンドウアートだろ。
He turned back to the window display. But it's still using glass, right? Those are glass, aren't they? I pointed at the champagne flutes. Each one was decorated with a snowflake pattern. Oh.
ああ、これはサンドブラストの技法が使われてるな。
What's sandblasting?
金属やガラスを研磨する方法だよ。厚手のガラスに貼られた保護マスクを順番に剥がしていって、そこに砂を吹きつけて削るんだ。割と最近になってからの技術だな。
Ooh. I see.
ちなみに、相当技術がいるし、専用の機械も必要だし。
Aw. Dang, you beat me to the punch.
まあな。俺もだいぶあんたの扱いに慣れてきた。
He grinned and ruffled my hair.
それで、結局あんたの欲しいものは何だったんだよ。
Whatever might you be talking about? My messy hair swayed as I tilted my head in an exaggerated show of contemplation.
とぼけんな。俺がなんか買おうとするたび、理由つけて断ってたろ。
Did.
迷惑か。迷惑だったらはっきり言ってくれ。あんたを喜ばすためにやってるのに、困らせてるってんなら、本末転倒だからな。
He's so considerate. Is that why you started showering me with gifts all of a sudden? To make me happy?
ああ、そうだ。
Honestly, nothing could have made me happier than hearing him say that out loud. I feel so warm and fuzzy inside.
なあ、あんたは何をしたら喜んでくれる？
It's just part of his love language. Oh, but it's too connected with how he keeps thinking that his wealth is the only thing he's got going for him. I am happy, really. I had a great time today, even just the things you've said to me.
嘘だろ。あんたは隠してるつもりかもしれねえけどな。あんたは秘密を抱えてる。その秘密があんたを心から喜ばせないことも分かってる。
Oh. In the reflection of the window, I could see the smile fall from my face. Welcome back, Mel. Is it a good pizza?
そして秘密を知ったとき、この茶番が終わりだっていうこともな。
He grimaced and averted his eyes. Cinderella. My heart ached. I knew it, he's on to me. But he's not going to call me out on it, which means he wants to keep this going as badly as I do. Oh. I balled my hands into fists. What is it you're worried about right now? Me? You? Your past? Our future? Are you scared? Are you looking for someone to confide in? Do you need someone to be there for you? Listen, Cinderella. You want to make me happy? Well, right back at you. I want to make you happy. No, I want to fix you. No, Eureka, no. You can't ever fix anybody. You can just help them help themselves.
救うご体操な話だな。
He gave a self-deprecating laugh. That's right. I'm a superhero.
俺の何を救うって言うんだ。
I smiled softly and shook my head. I don't know, but I do know this. You want something and you want it so bad you can taste it. It was something I'd wondered right from the very first moment I laid eyes on that photo of him. Why was it he made fun activities seem so dull? Well, after all this time I'd spent with him, I was starting to understand. He didn't hate having fun, nor was he bored by it. But he was missing something. And that something kept him from ever truly enjoying himself. Whatever it is, it's something money can't buy. Anyone may possess it, but it's not just anyone.
謎かけかよ。
Yep, and once you solve it, you'll finally be happy.
幸せ
Yep, you'll get your happily ever after. Personally, I have faith that this fairy tale has a happy ending. I looked over and met his gaze. His eyes were shining faintly. Let's go home. It's getting late. I wouldn't want to make your brothers worry. I extended a hand to him.
ああ
He took my hand in his. No matter what happens, I won't let go. Oh, I know. Would you mind if we picked up some stuff for dinner on our way home? I spoke in a tearful tone, purposely deflating the tension of the moment.
別にいいけど。何作る気だ
Good question. What do you feel like having?
別に何でも。
Oh, anything is delicious as long as we're the one making it? Oh, Cinderella, you flatter me. I smirked mischievously. Anything? You sure? Even if it has lots of peas, which I know you hate? At this, Cinderella flinched.
なんで知ってる
Who do you think does the cooking around here? I've seen you pick all the peas out of your food.
俺の好きなものは
Me. Easy. Meat. I answered without hesitation, and a realization slowly dawned on Cinderella.
じゃあローストビーフが食べたい
That's a good and honest boy. In that case, I'll make you the best roast beef you've ever had.
あんたは本当に俺のことをよく見てるんだな
I'm also highly perceptive. Comes part and parcel with being smart.
自分で言うな
He bopped me on the head. But our antics quickly came to an end when a group of men in suits turned up.
いやー、実に楽しそうですね。
あんたは
Cinderella took one look at the group of men and froze.
やあやあ、シンデレラ君。お久しぶりだね。半年ぶりかな？おや、珍しい。今日は買い物しなかったんですか？
Do you know them? I didn't know what this was about, but I could tell it wasn't good. These are loan sharks, aren't they?
行くぞ
He didn't answer my question. Instead, he grabbed me by the hand and started to lead me away.
釣れないな。もうちょっとお話ししましょうよ。
The leader of the group seized Cinderella by the arm.
どけよ
With a low growl, he wrenched himself free of the other man's
す
grip.
みませんね。こちらとしてもそう簡単にどくわけにはいかないんですよ。
The man sneered. In a blink, the rest of the group had us surrounded.
そちらの可愛らしいお姉さんも突然怖がらせてすみません。あなたはシンデレラさんの新しい彼女さんかな？はじめまして、私はこういうものです。
With this, he handed me a small rectangular box. These are loan sharks. Is this a matchbox?
君ほどの容姿ならたんまりお客さんが取れる。
Oh God.
お金に困ったのならぜひうちのお店においで。
Oh Lord. Before I could get a proper look at the matchbox, Cinderella snatched it out of my hands.
おっと、乱暴ですね。あなたに渡したわけじゃないんですよ。
うちの従業員に気安く声かけてんじゃね
従業員？ああ、これは失礼しました。親密そうだったので、てっきりお二人は深い間柄なのか
え。相変わらずあんたの目は節穴だな。だからそんな職にしかつけねえんだよ、バーカ。
Cinderella, don't provoke them. Cinderella snorted dismissively.
てめえ今なんつった？
And one of the lackeys took the bait.
聞こえなかったのか？なら何度でも言ってやるよ。あんたみたいな程度の低いクズ野郎と話してると、
てめえには言われたかねえんだよ。俺以下のクズ野郎が。
Cinderella! Things were looking rather precarious, and I clung to Cinderella's jacket. I knew he was only doing it to divert their attention away from me, but that didn't make it any less scary. At this, he squeezed my hand in what I could only assume was meant as a reassuring gesture.
俺に用があるんだろ。用があるんなら聞いてやるよ。あっちの方でたっぷりとな。
Cinderella.
そんな怖い顔しなくてもいいじゃないですか。まあいいです。私が顔を出した時点で、あなたには何の用だか見当ついたことでしょうし。というわけで、私たちはこれにて失礼いたします。おい、入るぞてめえら。
At the leader's command, the lackeys obediently stepped out of our path.
ではシンデレラさん、また会える日を楽しみにしています。
With a grin, the man shot us a light-hearted wave as he turned and led his crew down the street. So, I waited until they were gone before I spoke.
悪いな。せっかくのデートだってのに、気分悪くさせてさ。
He turned away from me. No, it wasn't your fault.
帰るか。
Yeah. Cinderella, dinner's ready. I made roast beef just like you wanted. No response. As soon as we got home, Cinderella shut himself up in his room. No matter how many times I called out to him, he refused to respond. Either he was asleep or he wanted me to leave him alone. Meanwhile, I couldn't stop thinking about what happened on our way home. I was pretty sure... No, I knew that was the reason Cinderella was hiding in his room. Who are those men in suits, and what business did they have with Cinderella? A tidal wave of questions washed over me, pulling me under. I returned to the kitchen to find Gretel and Snow White waiting for me.
シンデレラ兄さんは？
Asleep, I think. Maybe our date really wore him out. As I spoke, I took a seat in what had become my usual chair.
へえ、それは良いご身分だことです。で、デートは楽しかったですか？
Yep, it was great.
それは良かった。ちなみに、のろけ話は結構ですので。
Oh, come on. I slumped my shoulders in an exaggerated show of disappointment. Really, I was just trying to act like my usual goofy self, so I wouldn't worry them. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to pull one over on Snow White. Normally, he kept his gaze strictly averted, but here he was, staring me down. What's the matter, Snow White? At my question, he lowered my gaze back to his book.
いや、
His gaze.
最近の君たちは浮き沈みが激しいなと思っただけ。
The next morning, as I was gathering the laundry, Cinderella sleepily trudged out of his room. Good morning, Cinderella.
ああ、おはよ
It's nice and sunny out today. Perfect weather to dry some laundry. I lifted the laundry basket in my arms. That's right, Boredom. These are all fairy tale heroines, except male. There's also a lot of other differences, so to speak. But I hope that you'll be able to love them on their own merits. What's wrong? Cinderella glanced at me awkwardly, so I tilted my head in confusion.
昨日は悪かったな。結局、夕飯も食べないまま寝ちまってさ。
I had a feeling that was the case. Don't worry about it. I made sure to save you some, and you can have it now if you like. I shot him a wink, and his tense expression noticeably softened.
ああ、よろしく。
He smiled slightly. It's like fake Grand Order, but backwards. Oh, but first, I really like to get the laundry taken care of. Could you fetch me your bed linens and your clothes from yesterday?
わかった。ちょっと待ってろ。
With that, Cinderella disappeared back into his room.
ほらよ。持てるか？
Daijoubu! Holding the basket against my hip, I took his laundry under my free arm.
なんか手伝うことあるか？
Let's see. Oh, I know. Could you help me get breakfast ready? Today we're having banya kauda. I've got it all ready, so if you could just heat it up and serve it, maybe add a garnish, that'd be great.
わかった。期待するなよ。
At my request, he nodded without hesitation. Saying that is just gonna make me expect the opposite, you know? Thanks for handling it, though. Worked like a charm. Once Cinderella had gone downstairs, I dug into his jacket pocket. Oh? Sure enough, I found what I was looking for. Found you! Oh, we are sneaky. I pulled my hand out of his pocket and stared down at the matchbox in my palm. I knew it was wrong of me to lie to him and invade his privacy, but I had bigger things to be worrying about. After all, I knew Cinderella would never come clean about this on his own. Maybe he would hate me for doing this, but if I didn't dig out the truth with my own two hands, we would never reach that happy ending. Oh yes, talk about your good food, Boredom. There's gotta be a clue. It was an ordinary matchbox in every regard, save for the words printed on the front. Match Girl Financial. Oh. Bingo. And I think that this is where we're going to leave off for tonight. The Match Girl, huh? Burning up all your stock to see illusions in the flames, and ultimately dying of the cold? I see, I see. No, it's okay. You can still talk about your really good food while I am going to look for somebody to raid. To the title? No. No content strike. Mascot is on right now. Oh, that sounds like a plan then. Let's raid Ray. Oh, or Vivleo seems to have moved from a Skyrim mod to drawing. He does good drawings. Yeah, let's raid Vivleo this time. You guys ready? Boredom, tell us about your good food. In Vivleo's chat. Yes, I am preemptively giving you permission in Vivleo's chat. I'm a mod there. I'm a friend there. I can do what I want. Remember not to become an adult like me, kiddies. Well, gonna be rating in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Alright. And for everybody else who stuck around, this has been your host, Freya Fukunaga, signing off.